We're following our rule when we're simplifying. We basically are grouping our like things together. So we're going to take our 2 times our 7 times our 4, the coefficients all together. Then we have a v times a v to the negative 1, doing my v's. Then I have an x to the negative 2 times an x to the negative 4. And then I have a u to the 7th times a u to the negative 1. So on our numbers, we're just going to multiply them. 2 times 7 times 4. Well, I have the commutative property, so I'd probably do the 2 times the 4 is 8, and 8 times 7 is 56. Or you could do 14 times 4. You get the same answer. When I do my exponents, my rule is that I'm adding my exponents when I have the same base. If I have an x squared times an x to the 3rd, I get x to the 5th. I add those exponents. Now in this case, if I have v to the 1st times v to the negative 1, what happens? It cancels out, right? I get 0. That's going to be gone. Here I have x to the negative 2 times x to the negative 4, so if I add my exponents, I get x to the negative 6. U to the 7th times u to the negative 1 would be u to the 6th. Now we want to write our answers using only positive exponents. We have a negative exponent, so what do we have to do with that x to the negative 6?
Bring it to the bottom.
It's going to go down to the bottom to make that exponent positive. So I get 56u to the 6th over x to the positive 6th exponent. When I do that reciprocal, flips it down to the bottom of my fraction. So number 17, going to start out with my numbers. I have an 8 times a 4 times a 2. $64. Then I'm going to do my variables. I have a v to the 6th and a v to the negative 8. I would get
v to the negative 2.
v to the negative 2. I do my x's. I have an x to the negative 5 and a plain x.
X to the negative 4.
The x to the negative 4.
And y squared.
And you already did y squared. How do you get y squared?
Oh wait, just kidding, I didn't see that. Negative 8.
Negative 8, because I have y to the negative 4 and another y to the negative 4. Y to the negative 8. So, if I look at that, I've got a whole bunch of negative exponents and I want to make them positive. What do you think my answer looks like?
64 over v to the squared, x to the 4th, y to the 8th.
Exactly. All of those end up going down to the bottom, but the 64 stays where it's at, which is on top, because that doesn't have a negative exponent. So the 64 is on top, then we got v to the 2nd, x to the 4th, and y to the 8th on the bottom. So number 18, what am I going to do to simplify that?
84.
7 times 2 times 6 is 84.
U to the negative 5.
So I'm going to have u times u to the negative 6, which is u to the negative 5.
X to the 4th.
I have x to the negative 4 times x to the 8th, which is x to the positive 4.
That's it.
And
The
that's
other ones
it?
cancel.
Because I have a v to the 9th and a v to the negative 9, which cancel out. So my answer with only positive exponents would be
84x to the 4th, u to the 5th. Oh, over u to the 5th.
84x to the 4th over u to the 5th. Exactly. So, negative exponents. If there's a negative exponent, you end up doing the reciprocal of whatever you have to make it positive.